Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is part 16 of our Let's Get Cooking series, and in this episode we will be making a delivery station, complete with a delivery bag and a method of delivering your goods. Just a word of warning, this may be a long one. I don't think it wants splitting in two, so bear with it. You can always pause it, go back to it another day if you find it's too long. Okay, so without further ado, let's get going. As with all of our sessions, we're going to start with getting ourselves some assets. Okay, so in our message folder, in our packaging folder, we're going to right click, make a new folder, call it delivery bag. And we're going to import into our current folder. And it's going to be, in my case, it's going to be on my desktop. YouTube assets, but wherever you downloaded the assets, as always, they will be available. Go to our message, can't say that today. Look for our delivery bag, and you see there's two meshes, or meshes, static meshes. So we open that, import those. And for now, let's not import the materials as normal because depending on what version it is, it's different. So we're going to make our materials just as easy. Let's get somewhere. Materials, make sure import materials is checked off. We're going to import our meshes. You should have two. Go ahead and save those. And we're going to make materials straight away. And just in the wrong part on my test one, sorry for that. Okay, so I believe it's the same material. I'm just double checking. Yes, okay, so we have two materials that we need to make. And I'm just getting those up now. Okay. You can put them in our materials folder. Here somewhere. First one we're going to make is material, we're going to call it M underscore delivery bag. And duplicate that. I'm going to call it M underscore delivery bag inner. Okay. So we also need to import some textures. So we'll go to our textures folder. Let's import the textures. And it should be under textures. We have a delivery bag. Anything with delivery, anything you see with delivery bag on it. So it says, oh, I'm pressing the wrong keys. Okay. Control idiot. Right. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. That should be it. Open those textures. Say OK to any messages. We're going to go to our materials. We're going to open up the delivery bag. We'll do that one first. Bear in mind I'm using revision controls, so it sometimes takes a moment. Go to our textures, and we're going to select all of our newly imported delivery bag textures. and drag them on in. And we're simply going to connect them up. So the red one here is our base. The black one is our metallic. The grey, this one here, the grey coloured one is our roughness. The white one is our opacity, which we don't see, so we should set our into mask. Okay, then you'll see your opacity. So set the opacity mask. And the last one is our normal. Go ahead and apply that. Save that. The next material we are going to make is the inner. Let's go ahead and save everything, make sure we keep it saved. We don't want to lose our work. The materials, our delivery bag inner, which looks black here at the moment because it's got nothing in it. And we're going to press 4 on our keyboard. And that goes into there. We're going to set the color with an opacity of 1. And we're going to make it white. Okay, and now textures, we're going to get our okay, where did we put that? I bet it probably got put with a mesh. I'm cheating a little bit and I'm using the let's see, I can find it from here. You don't have to do this, bear with me, I'm just trying to look for where I've done with the texture, the normal. Which is this one I want. And we put that in our meshes ingredients, so actually we could move this to our good idea where you found it. Let's move it to our textures. So it should be move here. I should turn the revision control off for this, but we're also going to move these two over. That's it. We've got materials in the wrong place here as well, but never mind for that. Not going to move those now. Right, so now I know where I can find that. Now in our textures folder, we've got this gentle applied yellow. It's a butter texture. We're going to add that to normal just to give a bit of a wrinkly effect, like the delivery bag have on the inside. Make sure you apply and save those. We can go ahead and close those. Let's open up our meshes. Select them both, press enter. We'll open them both up for you. And this one is delivery bag. and this one is delivery bag inner. Save that. And you want for this to make, let me just check what I did for the collision, because I know the collision was a little bit important on this. One momento. Okay. So what I did for the collision, if we view our collision here, so our simple collision, it's working out quite okay. So we can go ahead and save and close that. Let's look at the base of the bag. We're going to again delivery bag for the top, delivery bag inner for the inside. Let's just double check our simple collision. Okay, now you see that simple collision on that is wrong. This would not allow us to put things in the bag. Excuse me, which is no good. And I'll just double check what I did. Very unlikely I used, yeah, okay. So what I did here is first of all we go in and go to our collision, remove the collision. We don't want any. I up this to, I think 32, good enough. And 32, I believe, is the max you can get there. And I just up this to 40,000. Click apply. And this is our convex. It still acts as simple collision, unlike complex collision. And you see now we can get inside the bag. We're not too worried about the outer shapes. As long as we can get stuff inside the bag, that's the important thing. And go ahead and save that, and we can close our message. And if you've been following the series anywhere along here, you know that the next things we do is go to our data folder, our data assets. We're going to go to our packaging, and we're going to make a new data asset. You can go to miscellaneous, which is data asset container. So we go to our data asset, DA containers, select that, DA underscore delivery bag. Go ahead and open that up. And I'm going to copy and paste just to save a little bit of time, but I will leave it there for you to see. Now we have got a delivery bag here. I think we did add that last time. If you don't, then you would go ahead and add that in the enum. If you're not sure, send me a message and I will tell you how to do it. Next thing we want is an empty container. Yes. Item type is a container. Static mesh is our delivery bag base. And I'm going to copy and paste. So we're going to copy that. The name, paste, description, copy, paste. And in here, the interaction key, I'm going to put LMB. And paste. Sign text is nothing. Okay. And that's that, I believe, for that. So let's go back to that folder while we're on our data assets. We're going to need to make a new data asset. This is under workstations. You can just duplicate the packing station. now, and we're going to call this DA delivery station. It's going to open up. And it is of type workstation, which we don't have here. Okay, it doesn't matter, we can leave it as appliance for now. We're going to change this to delivery station. And this is where you let's copy and paste that. This is where you send your food for delivery. And this is going to be delivery station. Ooh. Okay, save that, and we're done with the data assets for now. So let's first of all set up our station, and then we're going to coding the bag. So we're going to go to our content, our blueprints, our game items, workstations, and we can duplicate the packing. No, I won't. We're going to make a new blueprint class, and it's of type we'll double check these in a minute. Workstation. Okay, so new blueprint class. BPP workstation. Select that. BP underscore delivery station. Open that up. First thing we're going to do is go to our class defaults. We're going to set a data asset to our delivery station. That gives us our table with the correct signage. We're going to go to the base mesh. We're going to check the collision on the base mesh. So we go down to our collision and make sure it's ignoring the tracer. We don't want that showing up. So you should all be ignoring the tracer. That doesn't have any, and that doesn't have any. Okay, so that should be fine. There is literally no code in here, I believe. I'm just double checking on my thing. There's absolutely no code. There's nothing different to anything else in this. So again, we can go ahead, save that, close that. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is drag that into the world. So let's get one in the world. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. And let's move it into place. Alongside our packing station. Okay. Now we've got that, we're going to go to our content drawer again, game items, I believe it is. Yeah. In containers, we're going to create a new blueprint class, and it's of BPP containers. Select that. We're going to call it BP underscore delivery bag. Let's go ahead and open that one up. First of all, we're going to set our data asset here to be our delivery bag. You should see that there like that. Okay. See what else we need. Grab point box. Okay, so now we need to add a new static mesh. We're just going to basically call this lid. And we're going to set that to be the lid. Okay, maybe delivery lid, like so. And I found the best positioning for this is 0.8, 14, and 39.5. It should be. It doesn't quite look right. Does that not look like? Looks like in there. Right. Just line it up left and right so it's about. You don't see any white, so it looks about white like that. Okay, good. Now, one thing we do want to do on the base mesh, you can go in the event graph. I believe let's just double check on the BP containers. I believe it sets the solution there. Let's look on base and make sure we're turning off the physics because we don't want to hit. Okay, so we see here. Oh no, that's not that. That's not it. That's not it. The gameplay, we've already got the physics turned off, so there shouldn't be any physics on that. This is good. And we can go back to our delivery bag, compile that. And let's go ahead and add this to our world straight away. I've added it to the table. Now add it slightly to the front of the table so that you can get to it when you're there. Ooh. And yes, it will stick down to the table because those straps aren't flexible, but just sit it flat on the table, right to the front edge of the table like that, something like that. And that should be fine. Anywhere on the table, it can be in the middle, it can be wherever you like. Okay, that's fine. So let's get to the code for this and close down what we don't need. And we're going to go to our event graph. Now in here, I'm going to show you a slightly different way of using a timeline. You can go back and do it the same way as we've done the other ones before if you prefer, but this just makes things a little bit different, okay? This shows you different ways. I'm trying to, in this series, show you different ways of doing the same thing and showing that they both work, so it's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to get back to a reference. Okay. The first thing we do is going to add a timeline. Make sure you choose the one at the bottom here, not the component. We're going to call it lid. Oh. Lid timeline. Like so, we're going to open that up. We're going to reduce our track length to, I've chosen 1.25, but again, you can adjust this to whatever you feel is appropriate to you. Going to add a float track. As always, just going to add 2 points. First point is going to be 0, 0. Make sure you hit enter or else it won't set it. Next point is going to be 1.25 and 1. And make sure you press enter. Double check that you've got it in the right place. Highlight them. I like to do the auto because it just gives it a slightly smoother transition. We're going to rename the track to Alpha. Pilot, close that. Okay. Now we're going to grab our lid and we're going to say set relative rotation on the update, and we're going to lerp a rotator. Okay. And we're going to start the rotation from 0, 0, and on the X we're going to make it 100, and Y Z a 0, 0. Don't forget to connect your alpha, and that is all we need on there at the moment because we've got some more. In fact, actually, from here, from your direction, drag out of here, and we're going to get a switch, and we're going to connect that to that. Okay, we've got some more coding to put there, but we haven't made the function yet. So what I've done for the delivery on here, rather than having it again, you can adjust this to your own game. All I'm doing is making the bag disappear, clearing the contents, telling the kitchen manager that we've finished that, and then making it reappear after a certain amount of time as if the delivery person has dropped the bag back. So we're going to make a new piece of code. We can have a custom event. Let me zoom in. And we're going to call this send for delivery. Okay. First thing we're going to add on is a branch. We want to know whether we can deliver it. So we're going to condition, write that to variable and call it can deliver. We're going to grab our kitchen manager. And we're going to say set stage complete message. We can have a delay. Okay, so we've got a slight delay in here for reason to let the code go. For the closing of the lid, so it doesn't do it too quickly. 1.5 second delay. Then we're going to go from our kitchen manager here, and we're going to say clear current order message. You can try it without the delay if you so wish. Now we're going to make a new variable. We call it items in bag. And these are of type actor. By actor object reference, but it's an array. Now we're going to go around and destroy all these actors. So we need to grab our actors for each through them all. And we're going to simply destroy them. Then we're going to say set actor hidden in game. New hidden is checked yes. We can do another delay. This time I've delayed it for 10 seconds, but again, you can adjust that delay for however you want. And then we're going to run this again. With not hidden in game, so it reappears as an empty bag. Okay, so now we've got that, we can go back to our timeline and we can run that function send for delivery, but we run it on the backward. Okay, we don't want to run it on the finished of the close of the opening, we want to finish it on the closed. Okay, that's that. Now, okay, say, well, I'm going to do anything to here. How are we going to do this? Okay, so we're going to do this with our event left click that you should have in your interfaces. Interact, event left click. I'm going to do a branch. Don't think we've got. Haven't. I'm going to purchase a variable, and we're going to call this variable is open. Okay. And this is where we're going to change up how we use the timeline. If we go to components, you'll see our lid timeline. We can drag that in here, and we can run anything that's on this side of it here. We can do anything here from here. So is open here. If it's open, we're going to say reverse from end. If it's not, we're going to say play from start. Okay, nice and simple. So basically, that is running play from start and reverse from end here. Okay, make sure you use ones from end and from start. Our is open variable now, this made. We're going to drag it in, reverse from end there. And we're going to set this through here. I've made a gap and you'll see why in a moment. We get our can deliver and we clear the can deliver. Okay. Now, how do we set the can deliver? So we're going to make another quick function. Very make a new function. And we're going to call it get bag contents. Okay, there's a return node, and we're just going to call it bag contents. and that's going to be an array of actors. I believe, let's double check that. Yes, actors, but it's got to be an array. So make sure you set this to be an array. Just have a little bit of space. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is grab our bag, items in bag array here, and we're going to clear it. Okay, in case we've got anything mixed up from a previous order or something like that. And one thing I forgot to add, which we'll do now, go to our viewport. Yes. Go to our viewport, we're going to add a box collision. Now, leave it as box is fine. Now, settings I found for this was negative 7.5 and 23, and the size is 18, 12, and it should disappear inside the bag. Okay. And I'm just double checking what the collision setups I've done on that. I've left it as standard. Standard collisions. Yep. Fine. Okay. Now we've got that, we can get back to our get bag contents. We'll drag in our box. Get overlapping actors. And they're of type BPP ingredients. Okay. We can for each through these. We're just going to double check that it shouldn't do because we're filtering it, but we're just going to double check to make sure that it's not equal to ourself. We don't want to make our own bag disappear when we don't want it to, and not be able to come back. We're going to drag in our items to bag, and we're going to say add, and I'm using the add unique. Next minute, and it's the array element here, so you can stick in some reroute nodes. Like that. Okay, so we've done that, and that completed. We just return our bag contents or items in bag. Okay, so back to our event graph. We're going to run that newly made function here. And we're going to say is not empty. Okay, so if this bag has something in it, it will turn true. If it's empty, it will turn false. And on that, we're going to use that to set our can deliver. In other words, it will only deliver, you can open and close the lid as much as you like, but it won't actually deliver, because can deliver has been set to false. Okay, that's that. That's that. Okay, we just need to now this, I will warn you, will be subject to change a little when we start getting into multiple items. But at the moment, it's set up just to finish one item, deliver it, done. But we will obviously be expanding on that to have multiple items. So be aware it is subject to change. I didn't want to overcomplicate it and add the ordering system first. I just wanted to make it simple, so if that's where you want to stop, you can. If not, you can continue with the series. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is, in our box here, is add an event on component begin overlap. Okay. We're going to promote the other actor, to a variable. Leave it to other actor is fine. And we're going to make a little helper function. We're going to make a new function. And we're going to call it scan. Add to bag. Okay, we're going to make this as a pure function. It has one output. We can call that return value. And it's a single, and it's a boolean. Okay, compile that. We can go ahead and break that, get it out of the way for a minute. Okay, so first of all we do is grab the other actor. So basically this is going to not allow us to put anything in the bag that shouldn't be in the bag. So we could say does implement interface of container BPI containers, and is it actor is not equal to self. Again, it's just a precautionary measure to make sure that we're not including the bag itself if any of that box is overlapping part of that bag. So let's do a nice branch. Providing both of these conditions are true, if it's true, okay. So we're going to make up another variable of type actor. So what you can do is you can go ahead and your other actor, you can duplicate that and just call that last item. just to make sure that when we drop stuff in the bag, sometimes what happens is components or other things that are inside that may make it duplicate, and then you end up getting errors later down the road. So this is just checking for that. We could say, is our other actor and our last item not equal? In other words, is it something different? So if it is bouncing around in there, causing overlap events, it's not being worried about. And we can get our return off the true. We can add that there. Now, if we are trying to put something in there that's wrong or not complete, then we need to know about that. So what we're doing is we're going to get the other actor. So if we're trying to throw it in, we want to basically put it back in our hands instead of just injecting it and flying it across the building, which has become annoying. We're just going to use our do something message. On here. Do something message. Make sure you get the message on. This will not work. And then we can let's add a chef's comment. Get the one from our library, and I've just put it in here. Comment saying you can't put that in here, and we throw that to the return value. Okay, and that should work with that. Back to our event graph. We're going to drag in our can add to bag, the branch. We're going to get our last item that we just made. We're going to set that to true as the other actor. Then we're going to say get content to bag, because like I say, at the moment this is set up just to be one thing, but later on it will be a little bit different. And basically we're going to do the same as we did before and say, is it not empty? To a branch. Get our kitchen manager. And set stage, complete message. And that's that. So let me just make sure we've got everything. What I would also like you to do is double click to do something so that if you press the E key on the bag, it absolutely does nothing. We don't want it to pick the bag up or do anything, so that will stop that. Because it's not running the parent code. If we didn't have it here, it will just run the parent code. So we've done our send for delivery. We've done our left click. We've done our overlap. And we've done our timeline. Believe the bag. That is all we need to do. Let's recompile and save it. Okay. It's relatively simple. And let's now go ahead and we've got to make some changes in our recipes. So you need to go to your data asset folder and recipes. I'm just doing the same so I can double check on my reference one. So we've got our bread and jam. And our toast and jam. Let's start with the bread and jam. Okay, so where do we... Everything else remains the same. The only changes we make are in here. First of all, let me just make sure we have everything we need in the enum. So our prep stage is enum, just making sure we've got everything we need. Okay. Closed food container, we've got add to delivery bag, send for delivery, and I think that's all we need. At the moment. How many do we have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that looks like we've got enough. I just have to be a little bit careful because I'm in my reference project. I'm 1 or 2 stages ahead working on the next parts for the next videos. So let's start with our bread and jam. We've got 7 stages so far. We're going to add a number 8 and we're going to add a number 9. We'll work backwards, so number 9 is going to be completed. Number 8 is going to be sent for delivery. Number 7 will now become add to delivery back. So that's that one done. The prep stage is here. We are going to add another one. So where the completed is, we're going to say again, add to delivery bag. This one is going to be Send for delivery. We're going to add another one. It's going to be completed. These can all be none. There's no ingredients required for those. Okay. And our stage comments, we don't care the order on them. We can just add another element. We can't add none. I'm sorry. So let's add another element. We can say our add to delivery bag. And I'm going to copy and paste, and I simply wrote for that one. I wrote add food containers to delivery bag. We're going to add another one, which is going to be send for delivery, and our comment instruction will be close delivery bag to send for delivery. Copy our open recipe book. We're going to add in our default none, like so. And basically that's that for that. We're going to do the same for the toast and jam. Sorry if it's a little bit strange, I'm just trying to concentrate. Yeah. And believe it or not, in my reference project I never did it. So let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to add a 9. I'm going to add a 10. Add the next two sections. So 10 becomes completed, 9 becomes sent for delivery, and add to the delivery bag. We're going to add, so we're going to change this one to add to the delivery bag. We're going to add a new one, which we're going to say send for delivery. We're going to add another new one, which is completed. And here we're going to add our, again, send for delivery. A delivery bag, it doesn't really matter what. In fact, let's do it the correct way around. It doesn't matter, but let's do it just to make life a little bit easier. And then we're going to add our default none. So default none is going to become this one. On mouse work. And we can just go ahead and copy from here. That one becomes that one. And the last one becomes that one. And save that. So make sure you save them both. And what I'm going to do to save time, I'm just going to get it all ready up to the packing stage, and then we can test it out. If you've been following along, it's all working up to this point, and it should be fine. If it hasn't been, and you're having trouble with it, don't forget to jump on my Discord, and I'm always willing to help if people have a problem. DM me on there. So I'm going to pause the video just for a sec while I play around and make the recipe up to that point, and then we'll see whether it works. Okay, in testing I just found a couple of little problems that we should address. First one, which is not major, is the bag was opening from left to right here. It's easier if it opens from front to back, so I just rotated that 90 degrees. So that's quite simple. The other problem, which actually did stop it working, caused me a little bit of grief. You see I've got breakpoints everywhere. Let me go ahead and remove them. And it's in the get bag contents one here. I'm going to remove that breakpoint. I'm going to open that up. I accidentally told you to make this as BPP ingredients, so if you're following along, you would have it as that. It should be BPP containers. I'm not quite sure how I managed to read that wrong on my thing, but I did. So they're the two things. So I'm just going to very quickly, as quick as I can, I've changed a few things around in my levels so that it saves me a little bit of time for you. I'm going to quickly run a recipe through so you can see the whole process and how it works. So let's go. Okay, so as always, let's follow his instructions. Let's open our recipe book, pin a recipe. Now, there's a little fix. I've noticed a little problem that we'll deal with in a moment. Drop our ingredient on here. I'm going to open the jam jar just to save myself a bit of time. Pick up my knife. Some butter on it. Jam. Jam on there. Drop my knife. Pick up my bread. Drop it in the box. Close the box. So the container's there. Now it says add food containers to delivery bags. Let's open our bag. You see now I've got it opening from front to back. Pick that up. Go ahead and drop it in there. It says close delivery bag. Send for delivery. Close the bag. And it's telling us to open a new one. Our bag disappears. After a few seconds, it should reappear. Here it is. And if we go ahead and open the bag, you'll see it's empty. And we're all ready to start a new recipe. So that's all working exactly how it should do. And the video is not quite as long as I thought it would. So let's just go ahead and quickly correct a little error I've noticed in testing on my own project. So for that, we need to go to our HUD. So we go to our blueprints, core blueprints, and HUD component crazy cooking. I believe it's the HUD. And we want to find our recipe, add chef's comments. We'll go along here till we get to this delay here. The problem is what's happening is the delay's running out and then it's redoing it and it's causing some strange things. So what we're going to do is instead of that, we're going to say get a re-triggerable delay. Setting it for 5. Go ahead, connect that one to that. Connect the output to there. Delete that one. And that should save that little bit of glitch when we get our recipes first starting. So just press tab to open it. And then it tells you pin recipe. Whereas before we were getting a bit of a glitch. Okay, so that's going to be it for today's video. In the next one, we're going to be adding another appliance. We're going to be adding a drinks machine. I'm going to do it as a coffee machine, but I will explain. You will see that it can be made into a soft drink machine. You've just got to change it. So I look forward to that. If you like my videos, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you really like my videos, please think about joining my Patreon or buying me a coffee. It'll help towards making new videos. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.